Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today I'm joined by Jem Scragg, founder and head coach of Nervu, a performance health coaching company designed specifically for busy, high-achieving individuals with over 15 years of experience helping professionals reclaim their health, energy and vitality. Jem understands the cost of success when it comes to the expense of well-being and has built a holistic, flexible system to help people regain control, feel alive and perform at their best, body and mind. Jem, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you for joining me today.
Cool, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm excited to learn more about what it is you're doing. So with all of my guests, I do actually like to start at the beginning of their journey. So do you mind taking me back to what it was that you were doing before you started up Nervu, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Okay, so back in the day, I did and played a lot of sports, and that's what took me into the university days. So in
Okay.
the UK, I went to Bath University, did a sports performance course, and that was basically an opportunity to be as close to a full-time athlete as possible while studying, which went well. I did athletics, I was ranked quite highly in the country, and that's probably where it started in terms of the fitness industry. So the beginning of it was looking after and focusing more on myself. And then as the years went on and as university finished, I started to pay more attention to how you might go about training other people. So it moved towards working in gyms and then moved towards working for myself. So I guess
Okay.
just trying to find a way to use fitness and health-based principles to improve the health and lifestyle of those who I train. And I think over the years, like when I was younger, my target market and the people who I trained were younger. So I guess the
Okay.
things they were trying to achieve were different. So students and young professionals. And as the years have gone on, it's almost like the opportunity to work with people at a slightly more progressed, I guess, in their career. The opportunity for that starts to open up. So the business kind of formed when the opportunity of who I work with versus what's going on in life kind of collided.
Yeah, so it naturally just evolved from there, I guess, as you say, like working with the higher class of people and then moving it on from there and just really helping make an impact in people's
Yeah,
well-being.
I
Beautiful.
think so. So when I was younger, like a lot of the people I trained in the early days were students.
Yeah.
Probably quite familiar with trainers. I used to work at a David Lloyd's here based in Kingston, just like on the edge of London. So a lot of the students from the local universities used to go there. So you obviously look after them. Their goals are they simply want to look better, lose weight, look good. And even the conversations in training sessions end up being how was their weekend, what's going on in their life, but much more on a student level. And as
Yeah.
time goes on, you start to pick up clients who've got more kind of complex issues, whether it's physical, psychological, or it's just the things that they're going through in life. When the time came that I left David Lloyd's, I had a lot more clients who were in their maybe early 40s at that time, and they're venturing into the corporate world. And it was quite clear early on that you sacrifice your health and well-being in
Yeah.
order to gain financial success or career success. And that's become more evident as time's gone on.
So
A lot of it's based around trying to get them to value it enough that they'll take some action and look after themselves whilst they spend their time looking after others.
yeah, because unfortunately, at the end of the day, if you don't look after yourself and your body's the one that is lacking, everything else around you will eventually do the same. Unfortunately, if you don't look after yourself throughout the process in corporate world, whether it is for a high achieving job or just within the family life. So let's dive into the business a little bit more then.
Okay.
So walk me through at this point, who would you say then is your ideal customer? So who is perfect for to work with you? And then how is you help them and how do you support them?
Okay. So probably so I would call it like an avatar. So it's the
Okay.
character that we're aiming for. Marketing and websites and the messaging is designed to be delivered towards them. That person's going to be somebody who's talented. They're talented when they put their mind and their heart into it. And in the stage of life that they're in, the thing that they're focused mainly on is their work and career and family as well. So at the moment, the people that we generally try to get the attention of and then work with are quite high performing individuals and they're high performing in their career. They get to almost, I don't like to say it in this way, but it's almost like a breaking point, and they start to realize that if they keep going in that direction, then they're going to find that they're going to pop at some level, whether it's mentally, physically, whether it's stress in the family, whether it's stress with their, even some of them, like they fly around the world, right? But they can't, and they're struggling because their back's hurt, their mindset is off. They just can't get a grip of it. So they're very good at focusing in on what it is that they do in the business in the office, but they're not very good at focusing in on looking after themselves due to
Mm,
pressures around them to be the person who shows up and they're winning.
yeah.
There's some of my clients at the moment are people who I think they would struggle in their friendship group to complain too much about what they do in life. In a sense, everybody has money problems, but if you're doing well financially, it's hard to complain to somebody who's struggling at this time.
Yeah.
Then with that is it's often those who have money and connections often don't have much spare time, and they decide to use their time and they really focus in on work, maybe too much at some level, and then family as well, but they just don't look after themselves.
Mm,
So the aim in a way for one side of Nervu is to work with people like that. And most at the moment, most of those people we work with one to one. Like I live in Surrey, and Surrey's got a lot of people who are keen to be fit and healthy. They're mindful of what that is all about. They've probably had a trainer in the past. They maybe joined a gym or done a class or done something online. But the ones I've started working with more recently, they're actually really difficult to get the attention of, I find, because they're not really looking up in life. So they're not sat on Instagram too much. They're not on LinkedIn. They're not really listening to anything but work. And that's kind of part of the problem. So it's difficult to get their attention with a 6 week random special offer, Black Friday, Christmas deal, New Year, New You. If they know where you are, so to speak, then they will find you when they need you. And quite a few of my clients in that area, once you work with them, I've worked with them for years and pretty consistently, not even on and off. So there's those types of people. And then whilst trying to look for that character, you also get the other side of the equation, which is much more generalized. But
yeah.
it's people who simply want to get fit, lose weight, ideally lose weight quite quickly, and do it in a way that's enjoyable, whether it's through like a digital coaching platform that we have, or whether it's through face-to-face, one-to-one, generally contact or training. So
Nice.
we have a bit of a mix.
Yeah, and it sounds very custom as well to like obviously the client's needs as well. As you say, there's options to be in person if they're local to you, but then obviously an online program they can follow that will really bend around their lifestyle because if they're busy professionals moving forward, having the time, as you say, to work out is not always achievable for them. And then the other part to what you said, so I'm intrigued as to find to how you go about acquiring your customers then. Obviously you're mentioning it's a struggle because they're not always looking down on your phone and whatever it may be. So how are you going about acquiring your customers? What channels and methods are you finding most effective in finding that avatar?
So at the moment, the most of the stuff that we do on most of the marketing that we do is online. So we do the general Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. I also talk and try and send information out through LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a funny space, I find, because it's for me, I haven't found it to be as predictable. So you can send something out, they may or may not see it in terms of your audience. Whereas Instagram's a little bit more, they're likely to see it. And especially if they've engaged in some content or something previously. Me personally, I'm not very good at creating loads and loads of posts every single day. I'm probably a slightly more introverted than extrovert. And I think in the fitness industry, it helps to be an extrovert and be totally cool with getting into your lycra and getting on screen. And I just can't bring myself to do it. So quite a few of the clients you get them through one-to-one kind of combat, whether it's in the DM, so to speak.
Yeah,
But also it's about meeting people in the real world.
yeah.
So networking events a little bit. I venture into London now and again for some good networking events with some really quite like influential people in the corporate space. So it takes time, and people who I know will often refer maybe people to me who they've met. And then for me, once they're closer and they're in conversation, so sometimes it's even like conversations like this, it's a much better opportunity to speak to them one to one and just find out what it is that they're dealing with and what do they want to achieve. And then it's not too complicated to build generally the perfect program that would fit around their needs, hopefully in ways that they didn't know possible before. So it makes it easier for them to take some action.
Nice. So yeah, so very much on the like recognition base where you are meeting the people, making sure there's a rapport being built and moving it on from there. With your online efforts, are you running any form of like advertisements or campaigns, or is just like a purely organic approach to
So the online stuff is something I need to pay better attention to. So we do some social media advertise, which would be considered more organic.
okay.
Um, and we have some affiliate programs that we put out there. So customers that I've got have an opportunity if they bring friends in or something like that,
Nice.
they can get a bit of a kickback financially. We do fitness challenges. So we've got like a 5K, like for runners, like trying to build like a digital running club. But we are more likely to push that in the new year, like in January, so in a couple of months now, or in a month now. And then we have like weight loss programs and everything you can imagine in the fitness world, built all into kind of like a fitness platform branded in Nervu that we can then support people in that way. So in terms of the marketing and sales, it's mainly digital. Currently, we don't have any paid ads running. The last time we did paid ads was more through Google.
Okay.
And like in Google, what we would do is that was predominantly pushing against one-to-one personal training in the local area, running ads against people, so search terms which are relevant to the local area.
Yeah.
And then we used like a remarketing campaign kind of concept. So you get their attention on one piece of content. Maybe it's like a blog post, maybe it's like a video, maybe even like an interview like this. And then you would try and retarget them with other adverts to get their attention. So we're looking at a smaller group of people, but trying to go deeper in terms of gaining their attention over and over again, rather than going broad and getting thousands of people's attention once or twice.
Yeah.
So
So
that's what.
very Yeah, so very much, as you say, niching down and just being impactful with the messaging. And as you mentioning that avatar that you're going for and just keeping that niche very tight. Good way to approach the online space. We tend to think of a 3S formula, so a specific person with specific problem, a specific solution when we're working with our customers here. So very similar approach to what you're working there. And then, so what are your plans moving forward then? So what to say that in the next 6 to 12 months have in line for you, Jem? Are you looking to scale and take it to the next level? What is the vision for you coming up?
Yeah, looking to scale. At the moment, I think we probably need to try and gain about 20 or 30% more one-to-one clients in the local area.
Mm,
I think the challenge we have with that is it's quite saturated in terms of what it is
yeah.
as an offer. So it's always about trying to come up with the right message or the right system to, like you've just said, to the right people to get their attention that they hopefully 100 people in a day suddenly fill out a form and give us an opportunity to say hello. But at the moment, the reality is that we're gaining maybe a couple of leads per week, maybe not even per week, every couple of weeks. And again, once you get them closer and into a conversation, especially face to face or on through a video, then our conversion's much better. But our ability to get the attention of people and a lot of people in a short time, we find difficult. We're trying to build on things like our email lists. So it's people who've been in touch in the past, maybe over the last year, let's say, and that actually has quite good conversion. But again, I think it's almost like if you imagine like the concept of a funnel, right? So
Yeah.
got your target market at the top and you're trying to work them through the funnel. So the email list probably comes in halfway. It's just defining exactly what we're doing at the top of the funnel, in the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel to get the best conversions, and always trying to measure statistics and numbers and stuff, which we do not do enough of, kind of thing. We run there and go, that was good. It's colorful. It looked nice. It visually was great. And then it doesn't convert. You think, ah,
Okay.
yeah,
You're like, that looks like a funnel. It'll be fine.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so it's anyway going. I love it. It's a very like sporty approach to marketing, which is very cool. So just really, as you say, the struggle, really trying to make sure you're getting the right people knocking at the door, and then from there you trust yourself to cover it in. It's just how am I going to find these people? And then, so Jem, I have one final question to ask you before we log out. So if you could go back in time, if you could go back to a younger self, maybe at the start of your own entrepreneurship journey, and you could only
Mhm.
leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now, but that you didn't know then, what would you say to yourself?
I think it's just to trust in yourself. I think the entrepreneurial side of things sometimes. So for me, for example, I have way too many ideas.
Yeah.
So this business, other businesses that are going on. and just lots of ideas. And you can imagine the fitness industry, you can create an unlimited amount of ideas. And once you work out how to build a website, it's very easy to put it out there to the world. Sometimes there's things that I've gone for that I probably shouldn't have. And sometimes those things are things that other people they get behind you and motivate you. Yeah, go on, give it a go. I'll buy thousands of them. And then you do it, and it doesn't really work out that way. So it can waste a bit of time, or it can knock your confidence a bit, or make you wonder if this is right. But I think a lot of the time when you just believe in yourself or focusing on what you're thinking, as long as you accept the idea that progression will be slower than probably expected, then it's a much steadier path, I think, in order to try and achieve the goals you want, but just set yourself a longer time period to achieve the goal, but just know that you're probably on the right path. So
Yeah.
that's something that I don't know if I would have at the very beginning have thought of. I would have thought I was reasonably confident. It's just the challenges, I suppose, as time's gone on, have got bigger. So there comes a point where you start to question whether or not it's too big, but then you just got to go with it. So I think that's something that if I knew now, it would give me more peace in the past knowing that that's coming.
Yeah, amazing. I love it. So not looking at the mountain from the bottom, but just that next step and knowing that the mountain's there and you'll achieve it one day. Very
Yeah.
amazing. And Jem, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your
Right.
incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
Probably you've got the website, so it's www.nervu, so spelled NIRVU, and that's .co.uk, or you can email me directly. So it's Jem, Jem, at nervu, NIRVU.co.uk.
Beautiful. Amazing. And thank you again for joining us. To the listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to go and check out Jem and all the amazing work that he's doing with Nervu. And please do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we will see you on the next one.